Yeah, it's just one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the many, things that happen in the business. But yeah, I got a verse on the strength, from Dizzy.
I remember that shit. I remember seeing that all on social media, everybody posting it.
And they didn't, like I said, the song didn't get released. So, and I don't want to say salty. If I would have known, I think next time before I reach out and do a favor, you get what I mean, and get a verse, like just on the strength because of our relationship type shit. I'm gonna make sure I got some sort of control over, the song, and I guess just who's behind it. You know what I mean? Because like I would have hella got behind it and helped push it, but it didn't work like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It didn't work like that. So
It
so
happens
now
all too often. It's weird.
Right, but now the next time I need a verse from Dizzy, you get what I mean? I'm gonna have to pay. So.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
well,
again,
I'm sure whatever the situation is, you can probably figure something out. I mean, you and him got a long-standing history, so
I would, like I said, it would be dope.
He doesn't seem like I don't think he would. He doesn't seem like he would be taxing DJ Valet, in my opinion.
I mean,
but I mean,
I see value.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Value for value, man. I see a lot of value in Dizzy. So when he did it on the strength, I kind of, I was like, my G, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then
100%.
and then to see the song come together, and then shoot the video, you know what I mean? And then actually, and then it just
had all the pieces together.
Just kind of hit the dirt, man. You know what I mean? I kind of was like, damn. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't have I don't have any rights to the music to do whatever I need to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, kind of just fell by the wayside, man. But man,
Was JR signed at that time?
No, I mean, JR's always been independent.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I mean, except for in the beginning, he did sign with like Zone 4.
He had some things going on.
Polo. He was at Polo the Don.
Okay.
I-15.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And him, so. And he was young, in the business.
How's he doing now?
So, I just seen him. I just seen him at my niece's.
Yeah, y'all family, right?
What was it? Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
Like family.
Mm-hmm.
Like family.
Yeah.
Like close.
Yeah.
So close type
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. Was that Nani's birthday? Okay. All right. For some reason, there was so many graduation parades and stuff.
No.
I've been in a few parades. That's like the new normal this year.
Right,
was the parade.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I was in a
yeah.
few parades, man, and that was one of them was my niece's birthday, and that's JR's sister's daughter. You know what I mean? So we was all over there. So I seen him over there, and actually, what's crazy is when the last time I saw JR, we were talking about this. We were talking about a podcast.
Oh,
know?
yeah?
Yeah, he was like, man, we gotta
Do it.
we gotta chop. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man,
I got stories.
That's nothing.
That's easy.
Like, that's a barbecue, bro.
That's what I tell.
A podcast in my family is a barbecue.
Yeah.
Like, just put the meat on the grill
Yeah.
and roll. You know what I mean?
People
like,
will watch it,
just
bro.
Roll. You
People
feel me?
will watch
So-
it. I mean, I don't know, like, if you guys watch the crazy shit on YouTube, but my girl, she watches people eating on YouTube.
Yeah, that's big.
Like
my kids-
the seafood boils or whatever, and they don't say a word on the video. My girl sit there and watch for hours. I'm just like, what?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but it got
I guess
millions
it's
of
out
views.
there.
But
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
like you said, there's always a lane.
too many.
Yeah.
There's too many lanes, man.
Well, I appreciate you being here, man.
Man, I appreciate
This
the
is
the call. It was right on time.
Yeah, I was a little nervous looking forward to this, just because, you're not a slouch in any sense of the word. You got. So I mean, but we chop it up. We've chopped it up so many times, like over the past few years. You've been somebody I definitely look up to in a lot of different ways.
Appreciate that.
So I had to get you on here, but
yeah, man. I just I thought it was right on time. I did. I thought it was right on time. My whole thing, I've kind of been absent during this pandemic, and then now, the George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery, just things that are social issues that never went away. You know what I mean? But
yeah, this feels a little bit different this
it
time.
feels. I think it just feels different this time, man. It's just because it's been a hell of a year. You know what I mean? Right from the jump. You know what I mean? So, but my plans from the beginning of the year was to rest.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't my plan to rest, but man, God was definitely tugging on me to rest. You know, ever since I want to say November, maybe like November, December, when I had my grandma. You know, my grandma had went into the hospital, and then she came out the hospital, and like, you know, she needed a place to stay for a little bit until my uncle's house was getting built. Her room was getting built. You know, they was giving her own bathroom, shower. You feel me? So they just kind of needed a place, you know, her to chill, you know, until it was done. Right. So, you know, I took her. You know what I mean? And I guess if you know who I am, you know what I mean? Like, I guess the role that I play in my big ass family, you know what I mean? It was kind of.
You got a big ass family.
It was like a lot of them were kind of thrown back that me and my wife kind of like stepped up, you know, to take care of my grandma. But I just felt like it was the right time. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was just the right time.
You gotta take care of them.
It was just the right time, man. I've never been able to have that time with my grandma, like just us type. You know what I mean? So it was dope, man. And you know, like I said, man, God was like, yo. He was just showing me through the whole time, man, like, hey, like, slow down, reflect. You know, it's kind of like time to smell the roses. You know, I had just checked off a bunch of things on my goal list was all checked up.
Yeah, you've been moving and grooving for a while, man. Been moving and grooving ever since I met you.
Yeah. I think it's been like that for a lot of people. I think it's like that for a lot of people who meet me too. When they say that, when I tell people I'm resting, they're like, "Dang, it's about time."
Yeah. The importance of like just sitting back, reflecting, and kind of not worrying about shit. Man, it's like you'll realize like kind of how just burnt out you were. You know?
Yeah, I don't think I knew how. I don't think I knew how to rest. It was probably one of the. I mean, you know, I feel like I'm an entrepreneur. I feel like my mind's constantly moving. You know, so I didn't know how to rest. I didn't understand the balance. You know what I mean? I've been a father since I was 15, 16 years old. There's no, you know what I mean? Like I just been running, just trying to stay ahead or stay above water and all that, man. So rest was needed. Yeah,
especially right now, man, with everything going on. The world this shit is like, it's hard to believe, man. You know, I keep seeing this meme going around about the aliens and
like
saying, we're up next. Bro, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Shit,
I wouldn't be surprised. It's been, like I said, it's been crazy. Yeah, it's been crazy. We don't. I low key was paying attention to the whole thing in January, and I got a feeling, I got a sense, a real strong sense that we were gonna end up quarantine. Like I in January, I was sending text messages to my mother like, "Hey, you guys paying attention?" You know, I feel me. You know what I mean? Because at that time, people were still. They were still making fun of people who were like hoarding toilet paper and you know what I mean? Like it was like real, everybody was just like, ha, 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 you know? Yeah. And I knew some people. I knew people who do business in China. I know, so you kind of got, you got a whiff, you kind of got word as far as how it, how important it was or how, it was affecting the way of life, across the Pacific. And I don't know, for some reason I felt like this one was different. People were posting the thing, all the SARS and H1N1, like people were posting that and they were like, oh, it's an election year. So, and even if it is, like, even if someone just had the little vial, like a little stink bomb, you know what I mean? And was like, hey, it's an election year. This shit right here is going to get us the votes. All right, you guys ready? And then like just throw the vial on the ground and then all of a sudden there's this fucking virus that you get what I mean? And so even if that was the case, there's people, there's people dying from the shit. Yeah. So,
do you think it was an overreaction with the quarantine, everything shutting down?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think there was a little bit of panic. And then I think there was a lot of wisdom, and I think the people who panicked, I don't think they see the importance of the wisdom, and the people who had the wisdom, they didn't really understand the importance of the people who were panicking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you just, everybody's perception was different, and everybody felt like their rights were violated, or you know what I mean? Like just it just got like.
It got ugly, man.
It got real touchy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
it was. It kind of gave me an insight into how people will react if some shit does hit the fan. Because it's only a matter of time before shit. This was just a taste.
Right.
And
that's how I feel too.
Yeah. So like, if things really hit the fan, if they're really a disease is going around where if you get it, it's over with. Doesn't matter your age or anything like that. Yeah. People are. It's gonna get real ugly, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't really. You don't have to wait for it to hit the fan to understand that it's going to get ugly. You know, like you don't. Like what would have happened? What would have happened with no unemployment? Right. You know, what would have happened? What would have happened if we didn't, stop the evictions? What if you get what I'm saying? Like what would have happened if we didn't, send the $1,200 check? You know, and there's a lot of people who didn't get it still. You know, or even receive unemployment yet. You know?
But $1,200 ain't. You know what I mean? It's like
exactly. But my point is we're fucked. Like if they're like, you get what I'm saying? Like
you got that. Well, it really, like, for me, I'm like, yo, I gotta be ready for this next time. I gotta prepare. I need to buy like a shipping container and put it in the woods and just fill that bitch up with supplies. You know what I'm saying?
So, and it's crazy you say that, man, because the last time the shit hit the fan was in 2008, 2009, when the housing market crashed. And then before that, when the shit hit the fan, was 9/11. You know, so I'm old enough. You know what I mean? I was an adult through both of those, scenarios. 9/11, recession, and the recession dragged, bro. Like the recession dragged its nuts through the country for like 3-4 years, bro. You know what I mean? Like from 2008 to like 2011. You know, like. 2012, it just kind of started to pick up, and get better. But when the shit hit the fan this time around, I was ready and I was excited.
You had a shipping container?
No, but I had just bought my house.
Yeah, but you was ready mentally.
I mean? I was ready mentally. Well, see, my mom has a house in Utah. She has a house in Utah in a small ass little town, like an hour outside of Bryan.
That's what you need.
You feel me? Absolutely. And it's what we're on right now. Like it's actually what we were on. We were already on it. We were on it in December. That's why the whole thing plays right in to what me and my wife had planned. Yeah. You know what I mean? Was to rest, reflect, kind of gather everything, you know what I mean? And then figure out what we were going to do next. So we literally were already quarantined from February 2nd.
Hell yeah.
Like we were already in the house. Yeah. You know what I mean? The Hard Rock Hotel closed. You feel me? So she wasn't, managing the restaurant no more. They weren't planning on opening up for another 9, months.
Anyways, because
they had to, they had to do the renovations and everything. So again, man, I was being tugged on, to step out of the nightlife. You know what I mean? I was over there at Seamless for a minute.
It can wear you out, man.
I was worn out. Yeah. I was worn out. You know what I mean? I felt like I was in too deep.
Yeah. You couldn't get out.
What I mean? Like you get, trust me, bro. You know what I mean? But it's almost like you start to recognize old things and patterns, and you're like, man, this is not the environment. You know what I mean? Like I gotta step
here.
out. Yeah, I've been here before. I gotta get back out. You know what I mean? Kind of hang up the towel a little bit. So that's what I did, and I just couldn't. It was hard. It was hard to step away. I knew I was supposed to step away in like December. Like I said, I was getting tugged. Like, man, sit down. Yeah. It ain't. It's not even about the money right now. Like, just sit down. You know what I mean? Like every goal that I had on my list that I made from like 2015, 16. I had checked it off already. You know what I mean? I was on the radio. I had my own radio show with iHeart. You know what I mean? I was on the radio 6 days a week.
Congrats on that, man.
You know what I mean? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. It was a great experience. You feel me?
If anybody's deserving of that position, it's you.
It was my internship. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But it was like my internship, into, is this really what you want? Because it's what I've been, fighting for. It's basically what I wanted, And once I got it, man,
it wasn't what you.
It was crazy, dog. Yeah, it was crazy, man. I caught myself complaining.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. It was, and I would have to like psych myself out, man. Like I'd be at iHeart. Like I had a key to the station. You know what I mean? Like I'd go in and sit there, and I had the whole station to myself. Nobody was there, and I could do whatever.
Isn't that so weird that you think you want something and then you get it, and then it's like,
listen, man,
you almost just wanted it.
It's testimony.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's testimony because we do, man. It's like I said, it's something that I fought for. It was something that I was like, you know, I was declaring and decreeing. You know what I mean? It was in my prayers. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I'm gonna be on the radio this year. You know what I mean? And then like the call came. I didn't apply for the job.
Overall.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't apply for the job. iHeart hit me and said, hey, we was told to hit you. You know what I mean? We got this position. We was told to hit you. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, boom, you know, just I was checking goals off for like the last 3-4 years, man, just checking hella goals off, man. And it wasn't easy. You know what I mean? It wasn't easy, man. I lost a lot of friends, lost some family.
That comes with the next
you know
level,
I mean?
you know?
It do. Not everybody can go. That shit real, man. Not everybody can go. So it was just a, you know, it was like you said, man, you get what you get what you ask for, and then you're trying to figure out why you feel the way you feel, you know? And I just felt like God was kind of just like, man, are you done yet? Like you checked off every goal on your list so far, you know what I mean? The list that you had, like you checked it off, and yet you're not fulfilled. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
You weren't happy.
Yeah, I was not. I felt like I was in a box.
Is that, do you think because like you thought about it so much that you had it in your mind it was going to be a certain way, and then when you got there it wasn't, and then those two things conflicted?
Yeah, I think it was along those lines where it was, you know, I felt that I was going to be able to I thought I was going to have a voice.
But that wasn't
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like I thought I was going to have a voice, you know what I mean? And I just became, you know, this motherfucker who introduced Post Malone songs, you know what I mean? All fucking day, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
well, iHeart's not really,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
like no disrespect to Posty, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, the dude drops, you know what I'm saying?
No,
but
I
like,
feel you. Yeah.
I just kind of felt like that's what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you know what I mean? You know, it's Valet on your airwaves. Real
I mean, you felt like you were doing something
that was
anybody
that,
could
and
do.
now this is this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep it locked. You know what I'm saying? And it was like,
no, I
it just,
feel
you know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
got real cookie cutter. And if anybody, you know, knows me, man, I'm like, you know, get that shit off of me. So
were they not like upfront about what you were getting into at the time?
You know what,
or?
man? It didn't even matter. It was the door open. I took the opportunity, and you know, there was no pay. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people, you know, might have thought, hey, Valet on the radio now, he getting paid. Nah, man, it was an internship. It was like it was really internship. You know what I mean? And to be real, since we on the subject, like they like, I'm not gonna say that I don't want to say that they owe me, because then it'll make it look like I'm waiting on something. You feel me? I'm not waiting on anything. You get what I'm saying? But the reason why I was on air illegally.
How so?
I was supposed to take a class on, you know,
Like
payola.
you had to get like certified or something?
Yeah, because you're literally, you know,
like a public,
it's regulated.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
There's rules and shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, heavily regulated. You know what I mean? Like if I slip and say a cuss word, it's like 10 G's. You know, the fine is like 10 G's for a cuss word. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
yeah, you don't want to. You can't. That ain't you, bro.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah, you're an employee at that
So
point.
what I wanted to do was I just wanted to use the iHeart Radio. You know what I mean? I just wanted to use their logo, their platform, to just be able to catapult whatever the hell I had doing. You know what I mean? And so and that's what they were doing with me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had a local
They had a
local voice, a local DJ that they could put on their airwaves that they did not have to pay, that the local people were, you know, familiar with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Familiar name, familiar voice, whatever.
Right.
You know, and they didn't
call
have
you
to
for no
pay.
reason. I mean, yeah.
at the end of the day, bro, I think I got what I wanted out of them, and I think they got what they wanted out of me.
It was a great learning experience too.
Great learning experience, and it just the city. It's really just kind of a shitty situation even right now. You know what I mean? Because even right now with Vegas having, like, damn dog, we got a stadium, we got our NFL football team now.
Yeah.
Like, can we just have our own shit? You feel me? Like, how do we constantly have to be in LA's shadow?
What'd you say to me a long time ago? Vegas is LA's basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that
you know what I mean?
That made a lot of sense to me.
It made sense then. You get what I'm saying? It made sense then. That was 3 years ago. We got our own NFL team, man. We're gonna have our own NBA team soon. You get what I mean? Like we're coming out of the basement. You get what I'm saying? Like, motherfucker, I'm not trying to be down there no more. I'm not 12.
That's what I've been saying for a while is Vegas. We don't, like, if you hear an artist, if you hear a song, we don't have our own identity or our own sound. You're not gonna be able to, like, you can identify LA music, you can identify just by hearing it. You don't gotta know the artist.
LA's changing too.
Yeah.
LA's changing too, and the sound of LA is changing too, and that's a great thing for us. You know what I mean? That's a great thing for Vegas. Because now, and the reason why I say that is because we're constantly in LA's shadow. So, if they get broader, you know what I mean? If the music is more eclectic coming out of LA, then it allows, you know what I mean? It allows Vegas to do the same. Yeah. My point is that iHeartRadio went and bought every major urban station. You feel me? Every station that was playing hip hop music, they bought them. You know what I mean? Like, they literally went through and bought them. And then they moved all the powerhouse DJs to, you know what I mean? Because they just opened their checkbook, you know? Yeah. So they kind of went and monopolized the platform. Damn. You know? Yeah, I mean, from the Breakfast Club to Big Boy in LA, you know what I mean? That's all iHeart now. When before it wasn't. You get what I'm saying? So they went through and they bought all these stations up, and then they laid off like 800 plus DJs in January.
What do you think? Due to what?
People not listening? No, they're saving money. It's artificial intelligence. Oh, okay. You get what I mean? Yeah. It's not even artificial intelligence. It's not AI. It's not like they got some robot behind the mic now. Right. But because of technology now, they can have one personality in one market, and now they can multiply that one personality through 8 markets. Yeah,
because wasn't Big Boy supposed to be out here?
So no, he is.
But he doesn't.
But he's in LA. He doesn't operate out here.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying?
Okay,
and so so it frustrates. I believe it frustrates the voices in the city because I feel like we're constantly muffled or overshadowed. Like, we don't got our own damn culture out here. You get what I'm saying? Like, are you crazy? We definitely have our own culture out here. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just as a Las Vegan, I'm tired of out of towners speaking for me. Yeah. Like, I'm tired of out of towners speaking for me. Yeah. You feel me? Like
well, that's been a trend for, I mean, we all know people growing up. It's like they moved here in first grade from California, but they're repping California to the, you know what I'm saying, to the depth. So it's like, there's no identity, because now we have natives like yourself. We have people born and raised. There's enough time has went by for us to grow up, and now we got to speak out and kind of.
There's a lot of pride
take
in
control.
The city, man. There's a lot of pride to be
from
100%. Las Vegas, man. It's more than ever, more than I've ever known.
No,
you know
now,
I mean?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I remember the pride in the city back when we won the Final Four, like when we won the NCAA champ. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like when UNLV, when the Running Rebels won the championship, bro.
That was the year I was born, yeah.
Bro, listen, you see how old I am, dog? Listen, bro.
My bad. I didn't try to age you.
No,
right.
don't trip. I was standing on the corner with a shirt like what you got on. You know what I mean? And having the cars honk. You know what I mean? Because we won, and it was such a time where people were really proud to be from Las Vegas. Yeah. And I feel that energy back. You get what I mean? I feel that energy back. Yeah. Like, people are proud to be from Las Vegas. And yet when it comes to hip hop, okay? When it comes to hip hop, it's tough. We don't have a voice in hip hop on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
We don't.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? That's not from. I mean that represents Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
We don't.
We don't.
We got D Money. Like, shout out to everybody over at 97.5, man. Like, this ain't a shot. You get what I'm saying? But I don't feel anybody over there takes the lead on anything either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. The voices are known. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mr. Bob. And
Yeah, I was gonna say Mr. Bob.
And
Yeah.
D Money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Bob is a Bob is a fucking Vegas radio legend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere he don't step into that.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's him or if it's the platform. You get what I mean? Like, is it?
He can only do so much underneath there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Because then his opinions now,
Their opinion, and they're not gonna ride with that.
and they're not gonna ride with that. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not like I've sat down with Bob and had this conversation. You feel
feel
me?
you.
But I just want to know. You feel me? Because they've been on the radio for damn near 20 years over there at 97.5. Where's the voice?
Yeah.
Where's the voice? Like someone over at 97.5 should be the voice over in these protests. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different groups and they all have their own agenda, and it's so hard to get everybody on the same page. And yet we got stations like 97.5 who have Vegas natives on there, but they don't project them as, you know, like a voice of the city or you know, like a leading voice. They don't project them as leading voices of the city.
Well, I think they just might be radio personalities, and they don't have that quality about them. You know what I mean?
But then you look at guys like Jay Noyes, who was in the Vegas market, right? Who is now over, you know, on 92.3 with iHeart. You get what I mean? You know, you got Big Boy. These guys, they're looked at as leaders in the city of LA. You know, they're looked at. You know, they're in the streets. They're you know, like they show up to like
they're celebrities damn near.
I believe it's because of their leadership.
Yeah.
It's because of their ability to lead.
Yeah.
On certain issues like social injustice. You get what I'm saying? Nobody is
taking risks like that.
Nobody's taking the lead. You feel me? Nobody's taking the lead. I don't see these guys that are on air. I don't see them in the mix. I don't see them at the front of anything. You know what I mean? And so, we're missing a voice, man.
Yeah.
You know, and so
What do you think the future of radio is anyway? Because I don't know a soul that except my girlfriend, because she doesn't have an aux cord. But if she had an aux cord, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know nobody that listens to the radio. You know what I mean? Like 97.5. I mean, yeah, you'll every once in a while, but for the most part, like,
I'll tell you why they don't.
True.
Because there ain't no leader.
Out here, huh? Yeah. Out here.
Who is worth listening to?
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who's worth listening to, man? You know, we will rather go on YouTube or like rewatch some old, you know, we get our radio now is visual. You feel me? Like, our radio is visual. Big Boy's Neighborhood,
YouTube,
you know, everything is everything is visual. You feel me? Charlemagne, you know, like when you really think of it, the last 10 times you heard Charlemagne's voice, did you also see his face?
Yeah, I don't listen to Breakfast Club. I watch it. Yeah.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
feel you.
So radio has gotten very visual nowadays. And no one's listening live, but people still use radio as a source of information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel Vegas has we have the market. We have the market to kind of take the lead and stop syndicating. You get what I mean? Like, we got a morning show in Vegas, but it's Big Boy.
That doesn't make
sense.
And
they speak on like LA issues, thinking that they're Vegas issues. You know what I mean? Like, I have a hard time believing that anybody in LA can understand what the hell the Vegas service industry workers just went through.
No way.
You know what I mean?
No way.
Like, I just.
Like I lived in LA, bro. It's two different towns, bro.
Two different worlds, right? But yet they continue to allow their culture to speak for us, man. And we gotta I don't, you know, we got to get up, we got to get from around that. And to be real, how we do that is I don't, you know, is this, I think is this right here, you know, you know, shout out to TUNEIN, man. You know, we know what TUNEIN does for this culture and for the creatives and for the artists in this city.
Yeah.
You
I had him on here last time, and I can't really think of somebody who does much more than him.
Absolutely. You get what I mean? So these are the platforms here. This is why I felt it was so on time when you called me to come and do this, man, because I felt like, well, damn, I've been sitting in my thoughts for like 4 months. You know what I mean? Like literally sitting in my thoughts for 4 months, bro. It's been like a pool day every day. Like prayer is like, you know, on 10, you know what I mean? Just the attitude of gratitude is on 10. You feel me? Like how grateful I am right now is like, I've never been this grateful in my life.
That's a great space to be in to start something.
Listen, I've never been this grateful, bro. You know what I mean? And it sucks that a lot of people can't say that in a time like this. You know what I mean? And it's because maybe they never been in a storm like this before. You know what I mean? But like I was telling my wife when this thing happened, man, this shit is familiar. You feel me? If it wasn't for the storm, if it wasn't for the recession, there would be no DJ Valet. You feel me? I probably would have never came back to music if it wasn't for recession.
Oh, for real?
Oh man, I was a construction worker. Ask my wife, man. I was going to be a football coach and work construction. That was my shit. I was going to go back to school, try to do some, you know, get maybe some blueprint classes. I liked working with kids, you know. I coached football for, you know, 9-10 years, you feel me? I coached all my sons in football. So I was going to be a construction worker and coach football.
Yeah. And then the recession hit.
And I accepted that shit.
You were locked in.
That's what I accepted, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? I hella accepted it, bro. Yeah. Like I was like going to union meetings and shit. You like checking my vesting credits and shit, making sure my retirement was on. Yeah. I'm looking at all the cranes in the sky like, all right, we got work. You get what I'm saying? And then that recession hit. Wow. And there wasn't a construction site. There wasn't a bulldozer moving. It wasn't a fucking push broom. You know what I mean? Like the shovels was in the shed. There was nothing, no work, bro.
Yeah.
And I watched all my union brothers, man, like shoot out to chase the oil in you know, like North Dakota, South Dakota. You know, they went to go chase the oil. There was a lot of I want to say infrastructure jobs. I don't want to say a lot because the recession hit. It hit everywhere, but it hit Vegas hard. And I didn't know what the fuck to do, man. You feel me? My wife was a bartender, you know, and I was like on unemployment, and I had a little change, and I think I was like.
Did you have equipment still?
No, I had nothing. I had construction tools. Yeah, I had construction tools, and I think we had like 4 or 5 G's to our name, and man, I tossed and turned for like 2 weeks, man, because I told her, I said, I think I'm gonna go back to music, you know? And she was like, you know, do it, you know, she's like, she fucking, if I tell her, I think I could fly off that fucking thing, but, you know, she'd be like, you sure? You think you could do it? I think you could too. You know what I mean? Like she's rides, bro. And so she was like, yeah, I think you can, you know? And then I was like, I don't think you know. I don't think you understand the music business. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be kind of, you know, it's shady, it's weird, you know, it's a lot of politics, you know, and
it's so weird.
So I spent our last money, man, like all of our money I spent on DJ equipment, because I told her, I said, I'm gonna go back to DJing, you know, because I didn't know what lane I was gonna come back in, you know, because I make music, you know, I produce, I do a little engineering, you know what I mean? I got like 7-8 albums.
How did you get into that? Because I never really asked you that question.
1999. Well, you know, I'm a drummer. You feel me? I play the drums. Okay. So I always played the drums, you know, through middle school. I was in jazz band, you know, I was in band competitions and stuff like that, you know, marching band, you know what I mean? So I traveled, you know what I mean? I played gigs. I was like in 7th, 8th grade playing at weddings
I didn't know
shit,
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, nice.
You know, so I was kind of already groomed, you know what I mean, for entertainment and the stage and just music in general. And then, you know, 98, 99 came around, and, you know, the technology started to like really up its game, you know. So there was like
that's when the internet hit. Yeah.
Well, the beat machines, you know, the internet wasn't. Internet
you talking
was
about, you talking about
98,
that.
99.
Okay.
The internet was there, but to be real, it was like for like the real like Geek Squad type guys. You
like
get
you
what
write
I mean?
your own code and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like I knew nothing but AOL chat rooms and email in '98. You know what I mean? That's all we knew. You know.
And LimeWire.
And Lime, well, shit, I don't even, man, that was later. That was way later.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But yeah, man, I just started making beats. I bought a little beat machine, you know, and just I was in my garage, you know, on drugs. You know what I mean? I think I had a big cocaine habit at that time. And, you know what I mean? I was dabbling in meth. You know, meth just hit the streets, and it was like, yo, this shit is cheap and it lasts longer. You know what I mean? And I was like, let me try that. You know what I mean? And so, you know, yeah, man. You know, I watched. Oh man, listen. I watched the cocaine run through the family. Meth ran through my family. We got hit. My family got hit hard with those storms, man. Yeah, drugs was definitely ran through my family, man. Big family. I mean, but yeah, man. You know, started making beats '99 in the studio. Ended up becoming a studio manager for Big Face Entertainment. Brady Wells, you know, Brady Wells. Brady Wells does. He's done hella concerts. He works with like Devin Moore and Black Vegas and them now, you know what I'm saying? But he owns Quality Communications. He owns his own cable house now.
Okay.
You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah. So he and he's got, you know, he's you know, he's like my OG, like my mentor. You feel me? He's from the hood, you know what I mean? He grew up with my uncles, you know, in the neighborhood behind community college, you know.
Over
so
there in the north,
in the north.
The nutty, the real north.
The real 89030 Cheyenne and Civic Center.
Yep.
So he had a studio off of like on the east side at the homie Big Mike house. Big Mike, rest in peace too. He just passed like last year, man. And we didn't know what the fuck we was doing. We had some equipment. Yeah. And we knew hella gangsters who rapped.
Yeah. That's where the magic happens.
And man, I swear that shit was like a mini Death Row over there, dog. It was like a mini Death Row.
You got footage from back then? No pictures?
I don't. If somebody do, I want to see it because it might be incriminating, you know. But I don't. It was like honestly, it was like a little mini Death Row, man. It was funny as hell. We had good times, bad times.
What was going? So I wanted to ask you that question too, because since you've been here, you've seen the whole Vegas scene unfurl in a way. But what was going on back then? You good? As far as shows and stuff, or as far as parties, or as far as organized, like
I say it all the time, man. Everybody, if you're an artist in Vegas right now, man, you are spoiled. Spoiled. Don't complain about shit. You got options. You got stages. Man,
you got some wiggle room now.
Listen, bro, it's nothing like it was in 99, 2000, 2001. It's nothing. Nothing like it, bro. You got the internet now. You got you got.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine anything going on back then, man.
Bro, we performed at Lorenzi Park. I remember performing in a coffee shop at the Commercial Center, and we just like walked in and just started like moving tables out of the way while customers were sitting down, you know, drinking coffee. And we like moved tables out the way to set up in a corner, you know, and you know, one mic, you know, and there's like four of us, you know, and we're like passing the corded mic, and you know.
Now, you were rapping too?
The mic. I was like a hype man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, you know, I wrote. You know, I'm an artist, man. I wrote. Man, the homies would be like, "Hey, get on this song." I'm like, "Okay," you know, write a little verse or whatever. Yeah. So, it was so day and night in the early 2000s, late 90s or whatever. You know what I mean? To what the music scene is right now. Man, it was day and night. Yeah. Everybody knew each other. You know, and you would just perform where you could perform. You know, wherever you could get on, man, you would do it.
Yeah, there wasn't any organized like Finesse with Father Whole Kingdom.
Nothing, bro. No,
that's what I figured. Yeah, but
no, I mean, you know, there was guys out there trying to be like that, but it was just
Nothing really came.
Vegas was too small. It's small right now.
Yeah, it's so young too.
Right now,
so young too.
Yeah, man. You know that we're still a very small market. You know, even though we're growing, we're a small market compared to other markets.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, but yeah, man, it was a great time. Yeah. It was a great time.
I didn't know you made beats too.
It was yeah, man.
You still doing that today?
Shit, man. You know what? I'm actually looking for a Triton. I'm actually looking for a Korg Triton because I've got some heat. I got some heat. I got some heat that's unreleased, and it's 20-year-old heat. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing about it is I can hear this. I can hear the music that I made. I can hear it. I know it's on that disc. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I just need to let me pull that shit out. Let me have chemo.
It's gonna bother you until you
absolutely.
You get it out.
Oh, I know it is. I know it is. And you know, I'm gonna have chemo throw some 2020 sugar on it. You know, sprinkle something on it and bring it back to life. And you know, the music industry owe me. That's how I see it. Yeah. The music industry owe me. I gave a lot to this music shit, man. So you know, and I mean, you know, I've had tons of fruit and. You know, and just to be recognized by my peers, you know, to me is a blessing. You know, it just is because it wasn't always like that. You know,
no, 100%. You're definitely DJs as far as DJs go, but you definitely taking on like more of a DJ role. You know, like you're a DJ, but I've always considered you an OG just because of the game you gave me. You know, the guidance, and when you're there, I feel more comfortable. Especially in Oregon.
I hear that so much, man.
Yeah, especially in Oregon, you being there meant it was like, all right, I got somebody like, you know what I mean? Yeah, that was
a dope trip.
That was a shit. It was a shit show, but it was
you saw me just I just performed with him again. Or not perform.
No, I saw that. Yeah.
I hosted the show this time.
Wall,
I was the host this time.
Yeah.
And this time he looked like the lumberjack because then he didn't have the lumberjack beard.
Nah.
And it was hella funny when he came in.
He lost a lot of weight too.
Yeah. Well, when he came in, you know, me being me, I'm on the mic and I'm always talking shit. And he walks in, and I'm like, oh shit, you know, I can't. I'm like the people's champ is here, you know. And he saw me from far away, and he puts his hand up like he puts his hand, you know, to make like, yeah, I see you. Yeah. And I'm like, looking like a fucking lumberjack or something. It just came out, dog. You know what I mean? And I was like, damn, did I really just say that? Like I just said it like I knew him like that. You know what I mean? Like, damn. And I was like, damn, I really just said that. But hella people laughed, and all, you know, and he even laughed, and I was like, all right, cool, like good. You know what I mean? Like he didn't get offended. You know what I mean? But I was like, hey man, the people's champions here looking like a fucking lumberjack. Paul Wall, what up? You know what I mean? And everybody's laughing, and he's always got this, you know, he got that big ass beard.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been getting hella jokes about it, but
I'm sure. You know, white dude from Texas and hip hop. You know,
hey, he's a legend though, man. He was like,
absolutely.
When we were backstage with him, I was telling this story. That was the first time I was backstage with somebody, you know, that I seen on TV. I would never thought I'd be backstage. You know, I remember vividly.
Remind me about my backstage story. Right?
Okay, yeah, but I remember vividly the video with him and Kanye, the song they had, the Riding Slow.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, he got a song with Kanye. And then
What year was that?
That was like
Was that
graduation?
Kanye?
Yeah, that was Polo. Yeah,
okay. All right.
But that was just like one of my favorite. And then him being like the white rapper he wasn't like no Eminem type dude. He was, you know. So I was like, damn, this Paul Wall, like, he's here. It's just crazy, you know.
Paul Wall.
Yeah, and I had to actually. I was like, I was his low key.
And the fact, remember his DJ got sick.
Yeah, I ain't gonna incriminate myself, but anyways, but yes, but that was the first time I was backstage with somebody, and I didn't know how to act.
Right.
Cause I'm a fan, and when I'm a fan of somebody, I'm not afraid to tell you I'm a fan.
Yeah.
You know, but at that time I was like trying to be Mr. Professional, trying to be business guy, you know, and at the end of the day, I feel like I let my opportunity kind of slip through because I didn't really have a. You know, we spent probably 5 seconds chopping it up, and that was it. And then I kind of didn't revisit it, you know? Yeah.
I mean, in those times, too, man, sometimes it's really not an opportunity to take for business purposes.
Yeah, I know. I was trying
because they expect that. I think they expect that. You feel me? And so sometimes they just like hanging out.
I know.
Look, let me tell you my back, because I don't want it to, because it'll go away. You know what I mean? Because I got short-term memory problems. But Wiz Khalifa was performing at the Boulevard Pool. What year was that? I think it might have been like 2016, maybe 17. Wiz Khalifa performed at the Boulevard Pool, right? They were doing the Boulevard concert series at the Cosmo. And my cousin Josetta, she works in what is it? Room service, cater, whatever they do. Like, it's room service, but it was like special room service. You get what I mean? She got to work Wiz Khalifa's green room.
Oh,
right. So she hits me up and she's like, "Yo, like, I can get you backstage at the Wiz concert." You know what I mean? And I'm like, "Fuck it, let's roll." You know what I mean? Like, listen, man. I'm a fan of music before anything. You feel me? Like, I think your generation, they got like a problem with being a fan.
It's like
and it's like you on somebody dick or something.
Everybody's too cool.
Everybody way too cool. Yeah. Listen, man, never ever stop being a fan, bro, because
that's where it all starts.
You're gonna miss something. You get what I mean? And even being in the rooms that I've been in, you feel me, with Rick Ross and with Drake and Lil Wayne, you know what I mean, and a lot, and you never want to stop being a fan. You get what I'm saying? Even if they look down on it, man, you could be like, "Man, fuck you." Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, for real. So anyway, she said, "You know, I got a wristband. You know, I could get you back there, right?" I'm like, "All right, cool." So I show up, bro. I show up to the Cosmo. I'm by myself, mind you. I'm by myself, dog. I don't know what, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm a girl. You feel me? Like, you know, if a girl or a couple of girls or a group of girls try to get backstage, like, it's so much, right? I'm a dude, right?
By yourself.
And I don't look like I work there or nothing. So I pull up. I pull up, dog, right? I pull up and I'm on the phone with my cousin. She's like, "Yeah, meet me over here. I'm going to take you through the back way." And I'm like, "Fuck, bro. Like, I'm going to get in trouble. Like, somebody gonna catch me and drag my ass out, right? Yeah. But fuck it, I'm gonna have a story to tell. You feel me? So I'm like, "Let's go." All right. She's like, put the band on, you know, put it like this, you know. She's like, "Just act like you work here, you know." I'm like, "Cool." So I'm walking with her, and I'm literally in the Cosmo, like walking through like the back hallways where all the workers are, and then we just walk into this room, bro. And I walk into this fucking room. It's Wiz, his mom, and like two other family members, right? Yeah. And then DJ Franzen and fucking Gino. And when I walked in, like, I looked at Franzen and Gino, and they're like, "What the fuck?" They're like, they had that "what the fuck are you doing in here?"
because you already had a prior rapport with them.
Exactly. Yeah. I know them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and we cool. But I ain't DJ Franzen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got relationships with these artists like that. You feel me? Right. And I've been in the game, but I was in a whole nother game. You know what I mean? That had to do with the culture, but a whole nother game.
I got you.
So I walk in and I'm, you know, like we're surprised, you know what I mean? Cause now I'm like, you get what I mean? Like now I'm like, fuck, I tried to sneak backstage. Yeah. And I get backstage, I'm by myself, and now here I am with like one of my peers. You get what I mean? Like and I'm like
a familiar face.
Right. Yeah. So I'm like, "What's up?" So I just
try to play it cool.
I just try to play it hella cool, bro. And I walked over. I'm like, I say what's up to Franny. I say what's up to Gino, right? And like,
just casually, just checking
casually,
it out,
right? And they say what's up to me. Yeah. So I look at Wiz, and Wiz is like, "What up?"
Yeah.
Like, and Franny's like, "This is Valet." So like, introduce me, bro. I say what's up to, and I'm like, I'm in the room. My cousin, she's laughing her ass off, right? And she's standing behind like.
Did she know?
I don't think she knew that Franzen and them were in there.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
she knew who Franzen was at the time. But
right.
I don't think she knew that they were in there. She, you know, she came down. Maybe when she came down, they weren't in there. But when we walked in, I think we were all kind of like, oh shit! Like we were all hella surprised. You know,
confused and shit.
Bro, it was the craziest shit. Bro, I got a few pictures. I ended up. I'm sitting down on the couch, having a conversation about kids with Wiz's mom. We're smoking and shit, passing the joint back. Like we must have smoked so much in that green room, bro.
Yeah.
And there was food, and my cousin was the one serving the food and the drink. I mean, it was such a dope ass like backstage experience, the best backstage experience I ever got. You get what I mean?
You weren't even expecting it.
And I wasn't expecting it, and I never expected Wiz to like follow me back. I never, you get what I mean? I didn't expect him when I tagged him in my, you know, when I mentioned him in my post, I didn't expect him to be like, nice meeting you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so
Wiz seems so cool, bro.
Wiz was cool as shit, bro. The whole crew was.
Yeah.
The whole crew was, bro. Nobody even checked me, bro. Like I had a wristband, but
not a green room.
Nobody checked me, and I honestly I believe nobody checked me is because when I walked in, Franzen and Gino were right there, and they said hello to me.
Yeah,
you get what I mean? Like if they weren't in there,
it'd have been.
They probably would have been like, I probably would have had to fake like I was working with my cousin and shit, and stood behind the shit, giving people waters and shit. For real. You know what I mean? Because literally there was nobody in the room to validate me. You get what I'm saying? So if Franzen and Gino weren't in the room, the only one that could validate why I was there was a fucking employee. So I would have had to become an employee.
That's so crazy.
Just to stay in the room. You get what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope.
Man, thank God Franny and Gino were in there. You know, shout out to Franz and Gino, man. And it was a dope ass night. And I stayed there the whole time. We smoked. I actually walked up with them to the stage.
Oh, for real?
And stood behind the stage, watched them perform, walked down, went back into the green room, and finished the rest of the alcohol in the weed. And when I left by myself. and like got in the car, and on the way home I was just like, like, bro, I just fucking like I had real life. I just had a real life conversations about like my family with Wiz Khalifa's mom while we were smoking a joint. You know what I mean? Like it was just I was taking selfies with Wiz, and
that's so dope that he brings his mom with him.
Oh, bro. I understand why he brings her. Yeah, she's the energy. You know what I mean? That the energy that Wiz mom put in the room, bro. And I don't even remember her name. You feel me? But we shared plenty of weed and a lot of convo, and she was cool as shit. And it was one of the dopest backstage stories you know ever. And just to piggyback off that backstage story, I ended up getting the opportunity to DJ the VIP room at Jay-Z's 444 concert at T-Mobile.
Oh, shit.
Right? So this was everybody who had VIP passes, you know, backstage. There was a separate room with food, and they had dope. They had these big ass Jenga blocks, and they were black with like gold writing, the 444. A bunch of it was dope. The way Rock Nation set that up was fat, or live. It was actually Live Nation, but I'm backstage DJing this VIP gathering at the 444 concert at the T-Mobile Arena. And I had another gig after that. So I had like no time to stay and watch the concert. Like it was one of those busy, you know, triple booker day, you know, like boom, boom, boom type shit.
Yeah, if you want to stay and watch something,
I was so pissed because on the way out, I'm like rushing through backstage, and I'm pulling all my DJ equipment on a cart. It was a dolly too, man, and I was running late. I ended up stealing that dolly, and that dolly's at my house right now, dog. That dolly's from backstage at 444 from the 444 tour. There's all kind of numbers on it. If Lost in here, I'm like, look, bro, I need this really bad right now. So yeah, God forgive me, man. But that was probably one of the last most important things I stolen that I needed, man. But God knew I needed that. He put it in my life. But anyway, man, on the way out, I'm going to the next gig, and I run into Memphis Bleek.
Oh shit!
You feel me? Backstage, I'm like, "What up, Bleek?" You know, and like we're moving. He's coming this way. I'm coming this way. So I'm like, "What up, Bleek?" And I got my, you know, he's like, "What up, man?" Stops to give me dap. I'm like, "Man, let's take this flick real quick, man. I'm on the move, man. I got to get to the next thing, you know." So we take the flick, and as soon as we take the flick, I asked him because I know he's always with Fred C. Like when he comes to the city. I'm like, where Fred at, man? Anytime you're in the city, you're always with Fred C. He's like, oh, Fred is in the room right now. He's in the room right now with Franny. He's like, come on, let's go say what's up, you know? And I'm like, I didn't want to say no. It was fucking Memphis Bleek. You feel me? I didn't want to say no. Like, nah, bro, I got to go to my next gig. You know, I'm like, man, it's Memphis. I'm about to be walked into the room.
This next gig must have been important. Where the fuck were you going?
To the money. You know what I mean? To the money. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. So we went inside, bro, and you know, he walked me inside, and when I walked around the corner, when we walked into the room, the same look that was on Franzen and Gino's face when I walked into the Wiz Khalifa room, the green room. Yeah. It was the same look, bro. Yeah. And they even looked at each other like, this motherfucker, like, you know what I mean? And in my head, I'm like, I know they're probably like, how the fuck does Valet keep popping up? Like, did you text him? Did you tell it? You know what I mean? And we don't got that type of relationship. You know what I mean? Like, we're real, you know, we cordial and we, you know what I mean? We're, you know, in the same business and things like that. You know what I mean? But like, I don't hang out with Fred C and Frank. Like, we don't go kick it. You feel me? Right. So the look that they gave each other, bro, was like, dang, dog, how does this fool keep ending up in the, you know what I mean? And so, you know, at the, you know, the moral of the story is, man, never stop being a fan, dog. You know what I mean? Like, fuck what people say.
All you did
like that was Bleek, bro. Like to me, I thought Bleek was like the next Hove.
Yeah, he was supposed to be.
He was supposed to be to me. So I that's how I reverenced, you know, that's how I reverence Memphis.
Yeah,
you know,
that's sick, bro. That's dope.
So it was good times.
Who else was back there?
I can't even remember. I think
you didn't see Tata or nobody.
Emery.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think Emery was back there. There was you know, it was a 444 Twitter, so there was a lot of people.
I wonder if that was around the same time. I met Emery, because I knew who he was, and he wasn't as out there as he is now. Yeah. But I knew who he was, and I ran into him at Agenda. Yeah. Yeah. And I chopped it up with him for like 20 seconds. He was cool as a motherfucker, man.
Cool dude, man. The whole camp, man. Everybody, you know, cool over there about their business.
Yeah, he was just walking by himself too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy, man. So what's your how do you know Franny?
It's crazy because I used to I know Franny personally because I reached out to him because I actually hired Franzen to DJ at Cadillac Ranch.
Cadillac Ranch, which is now
McFadden's.
McFadden's, right.
So I heard when I came back, you know what I mean? Like I said, you know, 2009.
That was that time.
That was when I was coming back into the game.
And Cadillac Ranch was the spot?
Cadillac Ranch was the spot. And I needed my name. I needed to attach my name. You feel me? I needed to attach my name with the brand that was gonna.
So was Franzen, because he came up in the Bay, right?
Actually, Franzen moved here in 2001. Franzen first got hired at the Hop, which is a club off of Tropicana in Spencer that I used to promote
right next to the Orleans, that two-story.
No. This is on the other side. This is on Trop and Spencer. Yeah, this is on the east of Maryland Parkway. You know what I mean? Kind of like in the same place the SRO is
over there.
on Flamingo, but
over
just
here.
on Trop.
Over here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the SRO back then was the Hop and the SRO were like the two big major like hip hop clubs back then. So when Franny moved to the city, Franny got a job at the Hop, and he was over there with Finesse and Benzo. You feel me? And Brady Wells. Brady Wells was the promoter, and I was like a junior promoter. You know what I mean? I was his studio manager, so I would backpack for him. You feel me? I would promote for him, which is back in the day there was no social media. You actually had a backpack full of flyers, and your ass went out. You know what I mean? And did your thing. So I was promoting for the Hop, and I think we met back then, but it wasn't, you know, he was a DJ, I was in the streets. It wasn't, you know, wasn't like that. You know, I met Mike P back then. You know, Mike P was, I think. Mike P was promoting for his graduation party in the parking lot, putting flyers on all the cars. You know what I mean? And we came out like, hey, and he was like, it's me, man. It's Mike P. You know, he was like, oh man, pass the flyers out, dog. Do what you got to do. You know what I mean? So But that just to give you an idea, you know what I mean, of everybody in the city. That's when Mike P was on 88.1. You know, and everybody was coming up, man. It was
crazy. Things change. Yeah, things change so much. Things is like, man. What do you think of the Vegas scene now? Like, what do you think? Where you think it's headed? Yeah.
I think it's beautiful, man.
Who are your favorite artists?
I'm hella proud of the scene.
Besides J.R. Castro, obviously.
Shit, man.
Go ahead, man.
Right now, Free Fats, man.
Free Fats, all day.
Have
you heard anything from his situation?
It's tough, you know. That's a tough one for me, personally, you know.
Yeah, he's laid the groundwork, man. Many years. I grew up listening to Fats, watching Fats.
We got some guys out there, man. You know, we do. We got a lot of guys out there. I really don't even want to speak on anybody.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I don't. Just because I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, man, in your position, you probably doing the right thing.
I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? Like, Valet didn't say my name. Like, man, come on, man, miss me with that shit, man. I love the fact that we have a scene. You feel me? I love the fact that people are trying to establish a Vegas sound. You get what I mean? I love the fact that people are aware of our music scene. You know, and so it is the opportunities. You get what I mean? Again, man, hats off to TUNEIN. And he's not the only one. You know what I mean? Like, he's not the only one. There's so many people out there trying to give people a platform, you know what I mean? And a stage to perform, you know what I mean? And to get their art out there, man. And I just artists are artists, and they're sensitive about their shit, you know. 100%. And so the guys that are in the business, it's a 24/7 job, man, to juggle the art and the business. You get what I mean? And to kind of it's like we want to make sure we keep the value. You know what I mean? It's like we want to keep the value of the art, and then also on the business side. You know what I mean? Like we should be able to monetize it. You know what I mean? So that way we could eat and support our families off of our art. You know what I mean?
What are the biggest mistakes that you see artists coming out of Vegas making? You know, they got the promise, they got the talent, they're checking a lot of boxes, but they're not breaking through.
I believe that people don't understand the importance of a marketing budget. I believe nobody is getting slept on. Like, if you're an artist and you feel you're getting slept on, it's an indicator that you're not firing on all cylinders. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like to push a single or to push an album or just to push your music in general, man. It's like an engine. You know, the timing has to be right. You know, everything has to work at the right time. You get what I mean? And so you can have the look, you can have the sound, and then you can have $0 in marketing. Yeah. You know, and then it's frustrating. You know, that shit can get frustrating for these kids. The market is just so saturated. You know what I mean? Oh man. And it's tough. And so it becomes, you know, like, what if, you know, how do you stand out? You know, right. And to be real, man, I think the ones that are trying to stand out they're the ones who are having the most problems.
Trying too hard, yeah, I feel you.
Feel me? It's the ones who are aware of who they are, what they want to be. Yeah. Those are the ones who kind of have it. The music industry tends to favor those people. You get what I mean? So the manufactured artists that the labels have given us, you know, it's like we see through that shit now. Yeah. You know, the internet.
Not gonna last.
Yeah, the internet gives, you know, like, yeah, exactly. You know, like we can see this, you know, the manufactured artists, you know, and so just as far as Vegas goes, man, I feel like people aren't serious because they're not putting their money up.
Yeah, I think a lot of artists, they get sucked into not just in Vegas, but they get just sucked into the internet too much, and they forget to hit the streets, and they forget to hit other markets, and they just think they're gonna get popping on the internet.
It takes money to hit other markets.
Yeah.
You know.
But that when I was doing the management thing, that was my whole goal. Let's go to Arizona.
Hit markets.
Let's go to Oregon.
Hit other markets.
Yeah.
Man. You have to.
And,
but especially when our culture is such like a latch-on type of culture. You know what I mean? It's like we wave riders. You know? We find a wave, catch a wave. You know, you ride it as long as you can. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. You just got to be aware of that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
As long as we know. You know what I mean? And so it just, if we could get, we tried to bring something together. You know what I mean? And we're still continuing. You know, with Beyond the Neon. You know.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. So is that your thing? Or I mean, obviously it's a collaboration.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to Yards, who's a painter. You know, and, I mean he's an artist. He does so much more. You know what I mean? Than just paint. But so we got Yards and.
What's the goal for Beyond the Neon?
The goal was unity. The goal was try to kind of form a conglomerate. You know what I mean? To where we could kind of be like just some sort of organization that the city could come to and could count on. You know what I mean? And because of the reputations of who was involved, we could bring some sort of validation to people's music and to kind of, well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. It was like the dream team, to be real. You know, when you really sit back and you look at the people who are involved with Beyond the Neon, you really could see where it could go. But again, man, timing becomes a huge issue, and having everybody on the same page. You know, planning. You know, proper planning. Yeah. You know, things like that, man. So we have our own studio that's off of Tropicana in Spencer over there in that area. Okay. So we do have our own recording studio.
So do you want to throw shows under that banner?
We were supposed to. My biggest thing about Beyond the Neon was the doc. You know, we were trying to put a documentary behind it. That was our biggest thing. You get what I mean? Was to have a visual.
That's important.
And then the music, then the soundtrack would be where the music would come in. We're having problems with, I would say, dedicated videographers. Maybe
I got one for you.
You know, we just need someone that understands that we got to tell a story. You know what I mean? And in order to be able to tell it, we got to tell it visually. You know what I mean? So we just kind of. You just gotta be there. You feel me? You gotta be there. You know, like you gotta be there. You gotta record all this shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and not just from the set positions on the cams, but the BTS stuff. You know, like the conversations, the phone calls.
Yeah, you're gonna need a team of video guys.
You do, man. You do, and it's long overdue. It's long overdue because I feel like I got so much shit to spew out. You know, I do. I feel like I got a lot of shit to spew out. You know, I feel like this conversation could go on for 6-7 hours.
For sure.
You feel me? Yeah. I just feel like it could because it's just so much. It's so much that's happened since 2017. Since you know what I mean? Since we was at the last, the old Junxion building. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like just in those 3 years, bro. Like so much has happened, and I could literally, me personally, I can't even speak for nobody else. But I mean, I could write a book on the shit that just happened in the last 3 years. You know what I mean? And that's from everything from across my personal life and my family to my faith life. You know what I mean? To my walk. You know what I mean? To business. It's been trial and triumph, you know, trial and triumph. And I wouldn't have it no other fucking way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you want to, so this documentary, I think the city definitely needs a documentary.
It does.
100%.
It does. And there's one out there.
Is
you
there?
know? Yeah, there's one out there. I think it's called Sleeping Giants, I think, right now. Have you heard of that one? Sleeping Giants?
Did it just come out?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It might not even be out yet. You know, but they promote it like it's coming, or you know, it's somebody on my Facebook, and I know I can't think of the dude name right now, but he basically goes in depth of the music scene in the '80s. and kind of walks it up in, you know, from the music scene in the 80s, walks that shit up into the 90s.
Oh, wow.
You know, yeah, because, you know, there were some people who came out of Vegas that had hit songs.
702.
You know, shit before them.
Okay.
There was Dino. I don't even know if you know Dino. Well, Dino was like the, it's like freestyle music. I don't know if you know 80s freestyle music. Dino had a song called Diamond Girl.
Okay.
I'm hella dating myself. But real talk, man.
Yeah.
Like there's people who have, you know, they kind of made it to a certain point in music.
Yeah.
And it kind of was like, well, damn, what happened? You know, like I think Mr. Finley was probably one of the last, you know, majors, you know, one of the guys to sign with like Def Jam, you know, and it was big, you know, it's like, oh shit, you know, Mr. Finley signed with Def Jam. This is like 2012, 2013, you know.
Damn.
Then Yowda, you know, with MMG, and you know, so there's, you know, there's people who like they get in through the door, you know.
Yeah, we've definitely people.
And then something happens. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I don't. I mean, that's why when I was in a position with my artists, I looked at Dizzy and Funk Volume as like you know, the blueprint on how I wanted to operate.
Right.
Hitting those smaller markets, hitting the road, and getting a real fan base. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of artists, if you're not connecting with people, connecting with fans, because Dizzy will have a career for the rest of his life. You know, he's not billboarding, charting, but isn't that the ultimate goal?
That's the goal.
Right. So I don't.
Or it's supposed to be.
No, it's not though.
You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be, but it's not. Yeah, because people still won't even give Dizzy like his props and his.
I know,
you know,
man.
that shit sucks.
Know.
You know, it's like, bro, he
went
and did what he did, and he came back. He opened a business, and he opened a retail store. Like he's employing people. Like what?
He showed you how to do it.
Yeah.
He showed us all how to do it, but it's not. He didn't do it glamorously, or he didn't do it.
He didn't do it the Vegas way.
Yeah.
So you said glamorously. That's the Vegas way. You get what I mean? Everybody wants to be that baller. Everybody wants to be, you know. Everybody wants to go that way.
Yeah, so. I just think because he lived on the road for years, you know. So he was. I mean, I could see
home.
I could see the disconnect with his hometown, but he made a career not worrying about that.
He had to go make his money, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you ever been to a Dizzy show?
I go to every single one.
And let me ask you this: do you think Dizzy's home shows are more popping than his shows, say like in the Midwest and shit?
Fuck no.
Right?
Yeah.
His own hometown shows don't even be as lit as the ones.
They've been declining too. These last ones, they haven't been as. Yeah.
So you know,
but
he's got his fan base ain't here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know,
but he does have a little fan base here, though. I could attest to that.
Of course.
I was in one of his videos, the Floyd Money Mayweather video. I was fanning out at that time. That was hella long ago. I was like, yo, this dude is from my age, from the city, like doing some real shit. And then that song, Floyd Mayweather played that song on his walkout, and I remember him stopping that concert. But yeah, Dizzy definitely paved the way, and people need to give him his props for sure. You know. Yeah, man. And he's not done yet. He's still young.
He ain't done. He's gonna. I think he's gonna continue. I mean, he again, man. He's a giver too. Mm-hmm. You feel me? He's a giver. So he's gonna continue to give the game. Mm-hmm. You know, he's gonna continue to give the game away, man. Again, man, you can't. It's something that I've learned in the last 3 years because I kind of stressed myself out. You feel me? And wore myself out on trying to make people work what you tell them. Mm-hmm. You know, like, man, that shit is draining. Yeah. You get what I mean? And being a father, I've learned that you just gotta give them the game. You just give them what you know.
You can lead a horse to water, but
just put it down. You know, and that's what I do. I just continue to put it down. It's your job. You pick up. You can pick up what I put down or not. Right. You know what I mean? That's up to you. Right. So I feel like that. You know, when it comes to Dizzy, that's what it's gonna be like with the city. You can pick what worked for him. And, you know, and or not.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. He has his own store. I mean, like what?
What else could you? You know what I mean? Like what? Like isn't that the goal?
Yeah, have a career.
That's usually.
He doesn't have a job.
That's usually the goal.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, man. Again, man. When it comes to artists and in the city and stuff like that, man. You know, It might be a little biased, you know, because we've only talked about 2 East Side rappers.
Yeah.
You know, it might be a little biased, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could talk about.
Well, it's an opinion-based game.
Yes.
That's all it is opinions.
Yeah.
How many opinions can you get?
Absolutely.
In your corner.
And to be real, it's kind of the reason why I don't want to be on the radio no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's because, honestly, like, I kind of over the small talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
in a way, I kind of feel sometimes like I'm becoming like an older man. For real, like some shit.
You
bothers
just tired.
me.
Yeah, you just tired of the bullshit.
Like some shit bothers me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it bothers me it bothers me. But then it's like I can see when I remember when I was like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I do. Like I'm like, man, I remember when I was like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think to myself, fuck, man, I must be getting old. You know what I mean? Like I must be getting older, dog, because that shit don't. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm so tired of the small talk.
I know.
You know, we was at the protest the other day when the cop got shot. We had left. We left right when they headed into downtown. You know what I mean? Right when they crossed Charleston. I didn't cross Charleston with them because we had walked with them already. And to be real, we were sitting at home, man, and I was like, let's go. Like we was just literally sitting in our living room. And I was like, let's go. Let's just go. I was like, I need to feel what's going on. I just need to feel it. You feel me? Like, cause I can see it, but I need to be around the city. I want to hear what they're saying. I want to hear the side conversations. I want to know. You know what I mean? Like I got some homies that are cops. I got black homies that are cops. Metro. You know what I'm saying? My son. I push my son. You know, I always told my son, I want, go be a cop, man. We need to make change, you know. You from the neighborhood, man. You know who your daddy is, you know what I mean? Go get into the force, you know what I mean? Go be the good cop.
Yeah.
We need more good cops. Go in there and be that.
That understand that environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if it's us against them, bro, we're not going to win. We're not going to win. You get what I mean? And so we got to infiltrate, you know what I mean? So so we went down there that night and we turned back. I went, we marched. And man, dog, like I feel for the people, man. You can just feel how hurt and
Fed up.
everybody is, yeah. And then you can also just hear the ignorance. You get what I'm saying? That comes from things like allowing your flesh to rise and not having not having anything to kind of.
Yeah,
you know,
over emotional.
Emotional. You don't got nothing to stand on. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing that you get what I mean? Like if you wasn't standing on anything like before the shit happened, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you gotta kind of look at it. You were kind of like you were drug into this emotionally.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
you already not gonna be in your right mind to, and so we're walking and some of the things they got us saying. And I didn't say it. My wife didn't say it either. You know what I mean? They're like, fuck the police. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not saying that, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you understand where it comes from.
I understand where it's coming from, but you're not going to get me to say that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
that's not the solution.
I'm mature enough to know that there is a role that the police have to play in our communities and in our society. You get what I mean? Like when you say fuck the police, to me, you're telling me that there's no need for them.
You got to be more specific in what you're saying.
That's
fuck
that's
to,
that's retarded, bro. Like that don't make no sense. That's not rational, bro. To think that we don't need the police.
Right.
Like just really ponder on that shit for a second.
Anarchy.
Total anarchy, bro.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We do need rule. We need law. We need order. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Absolutely, bro. It's necessary. You feel me? So
we need police reform.
We need reform. We need officers to be trained better.
I just don't understand why. I'm just baffled on how they just can continue to not get it right. Like
I mean, again, man.
What do you think the biggest problem is?
We're working on the wrong muscles, We're working on the wrong muscles, man. And we need to be training, this one and this one. You know what I'm saying? Like when we can, when we start paying attention to these two muscles, you know what I mean? Like we pay attention to the glutes and the, you know what I'm saying, and the biceps. When we start paying attention to this muscle and this muscle as much as we do to the others, man, then I think we can find some common ground. I think we already know that we have common ground. The problem is that we just always want to be right. Yeah. And if I'm American and you're American and I'm right and you're wrong, well, the people that are watching from afar, they can't really tell who's who. Who's who, yeah. You know what I mean? If I'm right and you're wrong, well then I heard it. You know what I mean? I hurt the country, you know what I mean? Because my fellow American is wrong. And I don't want you to be wrong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be right. You know what I mean? I want us to understand each other.
That's the biggest thing.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the whole one race and all that, like we're one race, and man, that shit sounds so spooky, spiritual, churchy bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it just does, bro. It's like what obviously one race. Not, like what the fuck? If you know what I mean? God made hella different races. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. And he didn't make one race for a reason. Right. It's because we're supposed to be able to see the opportunity in someone different. Yeah. You get what I mean? When I see someone different, looks different from me, you get what I mean? Walks, talks, his color's different from mine, you know what I mean? His skin tones, comes from a different area that I come from. You get what I mean? That's opportunity. You feel me? It's opportunity to find out where this man's from. You get what I mean? Because man, the world is big. Yeah. It's a big world out there, bro. I know people say, that there's the cliche, man, it's a small world. It's a small world. No, we say that shit. We say that when there's a coincidence. Yeah. You get what I mean? That saying comes out when there's a coincidence. You feel me? Man, it's a small world. That means a coincidence just happened. Yeah. It's a huge fucking world, bro. You feel me? And we can all learn something when we sit across the table from someone that looks different from us, comes from a different background. You know what I mean? It's opportunity to learn, man. That's why God made us different. You get what I mean? So we
because I heard something the other day is racism isn't genetic. You learn it. You can unlearn it.
Absolutely.
I think it's crucial we bring up our youth.
Hate cops.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I learned how to hate cops because all my uncles hated cops. Right. You get what I mean? Like my pops went to jail for beating up a Northtown cop. Like you get what I mean? Yeah. The cops come around. That, yeah. You learn that. My aunties don't like cops. When the women in your family don't like cops, you grow up, bro, not liking cops. You grow up going, like who's he? You know what I'm saying? Like you grow up knowing that's the opposite side.
Without understanding.
Without understanding. And so it's kind of this it's an unfair, it's unfair, it's bias. You know what I mean? And we don't get to see, then your friends become cops, your friends become cops. Yesterday I sent out an inbox to all my cop friends, you know what I mean? And especially, 'cause I know more black cops than I do white cops. You feel me? So I sent out some message, hey man, you good? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like how's your, I want to know how your mental is. You know what I mean? Like, are you okay? You feel me? Because there's the same. I feel like the same reason why they became a cop is the same reason I want my son to become a cop. You know what I mean? Like I want to, maybe the reason why the black cop became a cop is because he had a bad experience with a cop. You know what I'm saying? And so he became a cop so that way the next black person, you get what I'm saying? The next black person don't, he wants to maybe, he wanted to maybe give a good, wants to be the good experience. Right. You feel me?
Right, 100%.
And man, it's even tough, man. Your own community, your own community don't back you,
Such a distrust,
you're a sellout, you become a sellout now, and you get all the names called, and man, dog, it's just, it's unfair, man, but I refuse to be I refuse to think that we can make change by throwing rocks from the outside. You get what I mean? I refuse to think that we can make change like that, man. I do. I really feel we got to infiltrate the system.
100%.
I wrote a post that says, a law cannot change a man's heart. Only God's grace can do that. There's not a law that you can write, and sign it into law that's going to change a man's heart. You feel me? It might change his actions a little bit.
Yeah.
But man, it ain't gonna change his heart. He's still gonna be a racist.
Yeah.
There's no law that you can write in that'll stop somebody from being a racist.
Exactly. Yeah.
So is it about law? Do we need more law? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do we need more law?
Yeah.
Or do we like where does it start?
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's tough. We need the good cops. We need the good cops to start being vocal about the bad cops. We need the good cops to start holding more accountability. You know what I'm saying? Towards the bad cops. You feel me? If there was more good cops holding bad cops accountable, then we wouldn't have to.
Exactly. They don't hold themselves accountable at all.
But now check this. The dude, one of the 4 cops that was arrested in George Floyd's murder was only a cop for the guy that looks black. I guess I don't know if he's black. I don't know if he mixed, light skin. I don't know what he is. You feel me? He only been a cop 4 months. What would you do in that position? You've been a cop for 4 months, bro. You're around other veteran officers.
Yeah. You're doing what you're told.
You're doing what you're told at that point. You're 4 months in, bro.
Yeah.
What do you do, bro? At 4 months, do you kick that dude off his neck?
Yeah.
And lose your job. And lose your job, or you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lose your job, become some internet hero. Like what? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And so these are conversations that we gotta have. I don't, everybody wants that guy to burn. They do. There's people that want that guy to burn. He's been on the force for 4 months, bro.
Yeah. It was another crazy thing that I read was, if a cop gets fired, right? Say whatever happens, an incident happens, he gets fired from that police department. He can go to a different state and be a police officer.
Oh, that's crazy.
So do you know the guy? I'm sure you saw his track record. The guy, the main dude.
The Chauvin,
yeah.
Chauvin or whatever.
You know his track record?
No.
Oh, he shot.
I heard. Yeah, he had a bunch of things.
Oh, dude. Yeah. He's had.
Yeah. Was he an officer in another state?
I'm not sure about that. I didn't look into that one, but it's just.
Yeah, no, he's definitely.
You have
even the Asian dude, right?
Yeah.
Even the Asian cop, he had a couple things on his record too.
Yeah. Where's the accountability? Yeah. Put him as a bike cop again. Or something.
Right.
Or make him a security guard
desk cop or something. Make him do fingerprints.
Take him out. I'm sure there's a job he could do, but some people just aren't fit, and I think it's just a misunderstanding about people's culture and the racism and
I'm glad you said culture, because I believe there's cop culture. You get what I'm saying?
It's a boys club.
And when you look at it like that,
with respect to my women officers, but
when you look at it like that though, it's a gang.
Yeah,
it's the same feeling.
Yeah,
you get what I mean? On like some of these guys, I want to be a cop because I want to belong to something.
Right.
You feel me? Like I want to belong to something. I want to be a hero.
That's why kids join gangs. That's why it's a human innate need to be a part of something.
Exactly. Exactly. And I feel
they're not going to go against each other.
And I feel like they choose up because culturally growing up, it's you stand on whatever side of the law that your house stands on. So if you're being taught to hate cops, when you grow up, there is no way in hell you are going to become a cop. You feel me? You feel like
you don't even think about it.
You don't even think about it. You feel like you're on the other side. I did the total opposite raising my sons. I did the total opposite.
It's a beautiful thing, yeah.
I raised my son. As a matter of fact, I got a Facebook call. Was it yesterday or 2 nights ago? I got a Facebook call 2 nights ago, and it's from a dude that I grew up with. You feel me? Maybe 4 or 5 years younger than me. But he called me and he was like, "Look, man," and he was a little faded. I could tell he was a little faded. You know what I mean? That's what gave him the courage to just call a motherfucker. He ain't talked to me in years. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, you just gonna call me. So I knew he had Facebook on Facebook. Yeah, I knew he had a little bit of liquid courage in him. You know, but I didn't want to like decline the call either. Like something told me, "Hey, this dude needs me right now. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to talk to me. So he calls me and he tells me he worked with Vince. He worked with my oldest son, Vince. And he told me, he said, man, he goes, OG, man, and this how I know I'm getting old, because all you motherfuckers call me that. That's all I hear now, man. That's all she hear now. It's OG this, OG that. I'm like, dog, I'm officially fucking old, bro. Anyway, he calls me. He says, he said, man, I just want to tell you, man, because I feel like you understand me, because we're from the streets, but you're godly now. That's what he said. He said you're godly now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you mean like I believe in God, right? Like, you know what I mean? He's like, well, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, cool, And he goes,
okay, I got you.
You feel me? Yeah, because
okay,
at first I was like, what, bro? Hold on, dog. You know what I mean? Like,
How
what
did
the fuck you mean? I'm a godly man, dog.
Yeah.
He just meant I'm a man of God. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right,
Type
right,
shit.
right.
So, you know what I mean? I was like, hold
Threw
on,
you off
dog.
for a second.
Hold on, man. So
he's like, you really on some shit right now.
right. I'm like, man, what are you drinking over there? But there's again, he was working with my oldest son for a couple months and did not know that he was my oldest son. So when he found out that who I was, he was telling my son, get the fuck, like, that's not your dad. Like, bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, hell no, that's not your dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, man, that's my dad, Valet. And he's like, man, your dad's name is Cheech. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
shit.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like, your dad's, that's Cheech. And he's like, yeah, he's, my son's like, oh, you know him as Cheech, and he's like, well, yeah, I know your dad, like, from the neighborhood. You feel me? And so he called me to tell me how stand up of a man that I raised, and how he was so surprised that I was able to raise him the way that I did.
That's the best compliment,
coming from where we came from.
Yeah.
He said, bro, man, your son could have been gang banging in the dope game. Like, man, and Vince was there. Vince and my oldest son Vince, and then my second oldest Lano, they saw a lot. You know what I mean? It could have went either way. But I was so transparent with them. Maybe too transparent, because they saw too much. Yeah. But I was so transparent with them that my kids, they would never. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
they know what it is. It's
I was teaching them about the law in the street. I was teaching them about the code in the street and how it was bullshit while I was living it. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it must have confused the shit out of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I continue to tell my sons, you not from no gang. You not gonna be from no gang. You know what I mean? I think I threatened my kids when it came to the gangs. Like, I threatened Vince and Lano. You know what I mean? Like, you if I ever hear that you're from a gang, I'm gonna call up your uncles and you're gonna be from my gang. That's what I would tell myself. You're gonna be from my gang. I'm gonna call up your uncles and we're gonna put you on to our gang. You feel me? Like, don't ever let me hear you, gang banging. You know. So they wasn't allowed to do. They weren't allowed to do that. They weren't allowed to. They weren't allowed.
But they knew it. But they felt it, and they knew it, and they seen it. So
they knew it. Their uncles was in prison. Their uncles was dying. Their uncles was. They saw it.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? They saw it all, dog.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? It was there for them to see. Yeah. And so I think some people who knew me back then, I think they might have expected my kids to turn out a little worse than they did, maybe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe they expected them to turn out a little bit worse.
Well, I mean,
but this dude was having lunch. You get what I mean? He was having lunch with my son this whole time, and they're chopping like coworkers. Yeah. And the whole time he don't know that that's my oldest son. Yeah.
Well, he broke the cycle, man.
You know
what I'm saying?
I mean, we trying. We still trying. You know what I mean? It don't just automatically break because
no, but it takes somebody like you, with the
and we're still going. Yeah. And we're still going, man. You feel me? My oldest is 25, 23, 22, 20.
they're all confused right now.
the prayers are different. I mean, we was just talking, me and my wife was just
Yeah.
talking about this the other day, man. You know, like, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
It's so much different, man. You know,
Yeah.
I thought when they got older, man, I thought we was gonna be like, you know,
Yeah.
but our worries are different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Than when they were fucking 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
You know, 15 years old. You know,
Yeah.
like, nah, they're young adults.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And I gotta trust that everything I taught them, you know what I mean? I gotta trust that everything I taught them was good enough.
Yes.
And that's the hardest part, dog. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I still want to be their dad.
Yeah.
I mean, we are. I am, but you know, sometimes I want to take it from them. I want to. The biggest, the hardest thing as a parent of a young adult is to allow them to have their own testimony. It's hard to allow your kids to go through their own tests,
Right.
so they can come out on the other side with their own testimony.
Tough love.
Tough, bro.
Man,
it's tough.
That was, I mean, early 20s, I think, is like a confusing time for anybody, or any young person. But from my personal experience, when my mom gave me my piece of tough love, and she was like, it's done. You got to figure it out. You know, if you're going to be homeless, you're going to be homeless, but you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And without that, that really defined me. And, you know, that's when my mind switched, and I had to turn it on for myself. So, you know, that's like, you know, it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know,
And
for
that's
kids
dope.
to experience.
That's dope. I look at I listen to the young adult stories and shit, and I'm like, dog. Me and my wife, we talk about it all the time, man. We don't even know what it's like, bro. We have no idea what it's like to be a young adult with no kids. We don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
We was teenagers.
I couldn't imagine.
Feel me? She was 21 and I was 25. You know, and we had 6 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me?
That's such a beautiful thing that you guys still rocking to this day too.
Listen, bro. It's the best thing I've built.
Yeah.
Fuck the name, DJ Valet, the businesses, any money I've made, any accomplishments, any accolades on the wall, because there's nothing that compares to the family that I built.
Yeah, that over the past few years when I understood your situation with being not a biological father, obviously a biological father, but also a non-biological father, that's when another layer of respect for you came from me, because I was that kid too.
Yeah.
You know, my mom was single mom, two kids, you know, and then my dad came in and took care of it, put a roof over our head and everything.
Absolutely.
And my life could have been so much different.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And that's key. Yeah. Like, that shit is key, bro. You know what I mean? It's like we need you know, we need the men. You feel me? If you ever got time, go through the stats of fatherless homes. You feel me? And you'll be blown away. You'll be blown away to the point to where you'll say, that's the fucking problem. Yeah. Like, literally. Yeah. Like, you could literally pinpoint the problem. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we fix racism in the world today? Tell the daddies at home, get their shit right. You know what I mean? Tell the men to step in their rightful positions and take care of their kids and raise them to love unconditionally. You get what I'm saying? Like, literally, we could solve every problem in the world when the man steps into his rightful position. Yeah. Right. 100% and the only reason why I say that is because go on your own time, dog, and do the research on how much fatherless homes cost us. Not just in money, but in moral stances. You get what I mean? Like, we're the foundation, bro. You get what I mean? We're the foundations. We get stepped on. You know, sometimes we don't get the credit we deserve. Man, suck that shit up, man.
Yeah, that's not what it's about.
That's not what it's about, dog. It's never what it's about. You know, people pat me on my back all day. You know what I mean? You was just clapping for the 6 kids. Man, what you don't know is the shit that me and my wife deal with behind the scenes going, could we have done better? Did we do enough? You get what I mean? Did we do a good enough job? Right. You know, we were we were teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what we deal with as parents. You know what I'm saying? On the other side,
Yeah.
and we get the standing ovation. We get the ovation. We get the claps, the pats on the back all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the job's not done yet, though.
It's not.
Yeah.
Our prayers have changed, bro. We
Yeah.
got young adults now.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? It's totally different now, bro. You get what I mean? Because we were so hands on. You know what I mean? And now we're forced to do this and go, you know, fly, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Push them right out the nest. Like,
Yeah.
fly.
That's
You
what,
know what I'm
that's what you
saying?
got to do.
Fly.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And as a parent,
That's-
man, you never want your kid to hit the ground.
Mhm.
You never want your kid to hit the ground, man.
They got to.
But they have to.
They got to.
They have to.
Yeah.
And you got to be right there to kind of help them up,
Yeah.
dust them off,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
And it's a beautiful thing. And again, man, it's put me in a position to be to be the leader that I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it just did. I didn't become a dad overnight. You know what I mean? I didn't.
Yeah.
I was a teenager, dog. You know.
I couldn't imagine.
I had my own
I
goals.
couldn't imagine, man.
You know,
Yeah.
and then and then drugs. You know, and then the life that I was leading. You know, or living. You know, and you know, I was the trap house. I was.
Yeah.
You know, it was the trap house.
Yeah.
And it was everything that comes along with it.
Yeah.
Everything that comes along with it, man. And I'm so glad them days are behind me. And,
Yeah.
and I'm able to talk about it. And, you know, and I never took a bullet. I never gave I never gave a day. You know what I mean, to the state. You know what I mean, or holding tank bullshit or whatever. You know, little dumb shit or whatever. You know, but you know, I never really gave no real time to the state, and I was literally able to walk away from it all, and still continue to have, and still like never lose the respect.
Right.
I think that was.
Your name is still intact.
I think absolutely. You know what I mean? Even when I changed it. Even when I changed it, because a lot of people from the neighborhood didn't understand. You know what I mean? They were like, "Yo, what the fuck?
Valet
What the fuck is valet? What the you know?" And so it was time to create. It was time to recreate myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I did. I did a hell of a job at it. I think.
Well, I'm sure you're an
10 years,
inspiration, to
you
your
know
kids,
what I mean?
man. They're looking at you like, you know.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready to reinvent myself again.
Yeah.
Like real talk. I'm ready to reinvent
That's a
myself
beautiful
again,
thing.
man, because
That's-
I'm
yeah.
over it. I'm over being boxed in.
Yeah.
You know, people are hitting me for DJ gigs right now, and I'm like, I got a few of them for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you really want me to DJ?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because these days it's gonna take a lot more to get me off the couch to do that. Because I feel grown now, dog. I've on some real shit.
You paid your dues.
I don't feel like dancing for motherfuckers no more.
Right. You shouldn't.
You get what I mean? I don't feel like doing no little dance for nobody no more.
I
You
feel
know?
you.
Like I was in the entertainment. I'm tired of entertaining you
Yeah.
motherfuckers, dog.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
You were nice for so long. It's like.
listen. I'm a servant. I'm a servant at heart, man. You feel me? I am. And the crazy thing is the name Valet. Literally, I chose it because I was like, you know, I had this motto, you know, where it was like, you know, I'm always the one at the wheel. I don't care what car I'm in. I don't care what I'm doing. I'm always at the wheel. You feel me? So that was like my whole little play behind the word DJ Valet. Why'd you pick Valet, or why's your name? You get what I mean? It's like,
I didn't know that.
Because I'm always at the wheel, dog. You feel me?
I like that.
And then I got saved. And then, you know,
Yeah.
you're supposed to let Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah. So you was all
So I was fucked up. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, y'all supposed to be the one in control, and I done over here, I done gave my life to Jesus, and Jesus is supposed to be at the wheel.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You feel me?
Yeah,
and so I literally kind of, I was at war up here, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, what is it, you know? And then one day, just one day, I looked up like the definition, you know, and
valet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And valet means like manservant. It means
Really?
It means servant.
Oh shit.
And it blew my
Yeah, that really fucked you up.
Bro, it blew my mind. I was like,
Damn.
okay, so I didn't pick this name by accident. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
In my head, I'm like, yo, this shit lined right up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm looking at God like, bruh,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so it really brought so much more meaning, more revelation as to what it is that I really want to do. You know what I mean? And I do. I have a servant's heart. You know what I mean? I want to serve the people. I love throwing events, and I love when people come and have a good time. And you know what I mean? God has given me the power. God gave me the power to assemble the people.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like he literally gave me the power to bring his people together. You know what I'm saying? And so now I want to do it in a different way.
Yeah.
You feel me? Now I want to do it in a different way. I want to do it on a purpose.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because I'm tired of the small talk.
Yeah. Well, the conversation, I was real interested. Yeah. When we were talking on the phone the other day, you said you and your wife were going to do something about combining families.
Yes.
Like talk about that.
Yes.
Or have like
Yes.
a show about combining families.
Yes.
And that's, man, that idea, man, people need that.
Oh, bro.
Man.
Listen, we keep hearing that. We keep hearing it. When people hear our story, they're always like, you know, like they want us to share it with everybody, almost. You know what I mean? Like, man, you guys gotta tell that story. You know what I mean? And it's always like, okay, well, I don't want to tell our story. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to repeat this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To 50,000 people. You know what I mean? Just so people can hear our story. And it's like, well, you know, let's do we could do a book. You know, maybe we could do like a web series or something like that. You know what I mean?
Podcast, bro.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And so we're there.
Yeah.
We're there. We got it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If anything, we got enough up until right now. You know, and I believe that we could definitely teach people how to co-parent. You know what I mean? Like co-parent and
that's so important too, man. People, you know,
we've
all heard horror stories.
Everybody got horror stories, bro, and we get it. We have our own.
Yeah,
we got our own horror stories. Listen, don't think that raising these 6 kids and, you know, her 3 kids, my 3 kids, and then we blended the family, and you know, now she's mom and I'm dad, and the boys have my last names, and you get what I'm saying? Like, man, don't think that, you know, for no one should think that came easy. You know what I mean? Like, man, there was plenty of times when, you know, things were just it was controlled chaos. That was our motto for years. When people would see us with all 6 of the kids and just look at us and go, I don't know how the fuck y'all do it. You feel me? And it was like, it's controlled chaos.
Yeah.
You got to allow it to be chaos, and just you got to control what you can control.
Right.
And what you can't, man, you feel me? And so just to even touch on that, you know, just real quick, not to gotta dive into the whole co-parenting thing, but listen, man, to the co-parents out there, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta learn to share. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn to share, bruh. You feel me? And the kids love both of you. You know, and
they're
when
just innocent bystanders.
And when
man.
you bash one, oh man, it hurts them. It kills them when you bash the other parent. These kids. The problem is the parents want the kids to side with them.
Oh man, it's the worst thing you could do.
It's the worst thing you could do. It's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, I've experienced that a little bit myself.
Yeah.
I mean, even as an older person, it still affects me to today because my parents, they divorced, you know.
Yeah.
And
mine too.
It's even as an adult.
They were great examples though.
Yeah.
My parents were great examples of co-parenting. You feel me? My dad didn't pay my mom no child support. You get what I mean? They came together if I needed something. You feel me? If my dad couldn't get it and my mom could, then my mom got it. You know what I mean? And she didn't talk shit about my dad because he didn't have it. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It was just, okay, your dad don't got it? Okay, well, I got it. You know what I mean?
Don't make it hard on yourself.
Okay, cool. You know what I mean? You know, you want to go to your dad's this week? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I did it with my kids. You know what I mean? Like when it was time for them to go to their other dad's, you know, when it was time for like my daughter to go to her real dad's house, like, it didn't matter if that motherfucker didn't give us no money. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It didn't matter. Yeah. Go see your dad. Yeah. You need him in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't. You get what I mean? It was like, okay, well he ain't got it, man. Hey, fuck it, man. We gonna do what we do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it just, it's emotionally draining. You get what I mean?
For the kids, man.
It's emotionally draining, and the kids too. You know what I mean? And it was the same on my end. You know what I mean? I had all 3 of my kids, so I never kept my kids from seeing their mother just because she wasn't financially helping me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like
they still need their mom.
They still need their mom, dog.
Yeah.
You feel me? And they loved her. You feel me? So, and you know, and the same thing on the other side. They needed their dad. So go, you know, go, you know. And the relationship was like horrible too. Like, you know, we was always at each other's necks and, you know, throats. And man, dog, like, you know, just, you know, thank God we got through it. You know, nobody went to fucking jail over it, you know, and we just kept our cool for the kids.
Yeah.
You know, we kept our cool. I took the high road plenty of times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in at the end of the day, man, the kids will respect you more for taking the high road. It will, man. They will respect you more for taking the high road.
Or they'll grow to resent you for putting them
through some more bullshit.
Yeah, making them pick sides or some
Absolutely.
shit. You know? Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if me and my daughter's father were to ever, if we were to get physical, which it almost got to a couple times, if we were to ever, that shit would have broke her heart, bro. You get what I mean?
Because pushed her away from both of you.
Bro, she loved both of us. You know what I mean? So that shit would have broke her heart, bro. And I think people don't understand the long lasting effect that stuff has on the kids, man. Yeah. You know, and we just, you know. So
I encourage you guys to
okay. We'll take that into consideration, just like all the other encouragement we're getting, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I support whatever you do, you know, so
appreciate that.
You already know that goes without being said. But
I appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna do that, man. We're gonna get in there.
I think we're getting running out of time here. Right. So I appreciate anything else you want to shout out?
Man, we just need to do it again. Yeah. That's all we need to do.
We're not done. There's a lot of things I didn't we didn't get to talk about. But
like I said, we could go 6-7 hours, bro. You know what I mean? Next time we just gotta bring food, maybe a little drink, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take a little break, go outside, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not thinking. I'm still new to this.
It don't gotta, you know, you want to make me come in and feel at home, you know what I mean? And then I'll just spill out. I might start crying and shit. Put me in this chair over here.
I'll get some tissues.
Might be a whole it might be therapeutic.
Start hugging and shit on camera. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, man. I love you too, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. God bless everybody. You know what I'm saying? God bless everybody. Taness, man. Junxion, Waterhole Kingdom, man.
The GOAT.
I love all y'all, man. Love everything y'all doing, man. Let's do it again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.